Hi guys, how's everybody doing? So I thought it would be kind of fun to do a craft with me. I never do that, right? So um, yeah, I decided I wasn't gonna do 2 live streams every week, and that was so that I could maybe free up some of my YouTube time for some shorter videos, maybe. And so I've kind of been, oh my gosh, I've been super overwhelmed with what am I gonna do? Like, what am I working on? And I have a tendency to just go overboard. And anybody who knows me knows that. And so no explanation. But anywho, so I have been kind of hanging on to Reader's Digest that are, the kind of fancy ones. You know what I mean? And so I thought I would do at least put together covers of some of these for future journals. And I was super inspired by what's her name? Karla. Karla Frizzell. She did a video recently showing her method of doing like a rolled spine or like a curved spine. And so that kind of prompted me. She had mentioned in her video that I had done some curved spines on some journals. And she mentioned that she wasn't sure whether or not I had actually used them. And the answer to that is that no, I didn't, because I didn't really like the way they turned out. And I had done like the little rope on them, and I just didn't like them. And so, and they were too stiff. Like, they were just too stiff. And I don't know, like I didn't like that. So, there's a couple of other ways of doing a curved spine. One is the way that Karla does hers, where basically, she uses a piece of chipboard and kind of with the glue, the moisture from the glue, just kind of forms it, just kind of shapes it into a curved shape. And so I actually have done this before and thought about trying it on these Reader's Digests, sort of a combination of what Karla was doing and another way of kind of getting the spine to sort of curve and keep it flexible, keep it so that it sort of moves. And so one of those, so this is paper on here, but so what I'm talking about is actually doing like slits in the and I'm sure you guys have seen this before, but you just cut some like slashes in the chipboard, all the way down, and that makes it so that it's somewhat flexible, and you can kind of mold it when you cover it with the fabric. You can sort of get it to just curve on its own. And then it's not as stiff either. So anyways, I've done a few of them, and I thought I would just, kind of show you how I've been doing those. And, it's not, the best way to do it is with like a, I think anyway, is with a, like a, what do they call this? A rotary cutter. Because you don't want to cut all the way through. Now this is actually 2 pieces of real thin chipboard that I glued together. Okay, I didn't want it super thick. But anyways, so my goal is to kind of cut like halfway through. And so I'm applying a little bit of pressure, but not a ton. And so basically I'm just like cutting through like half of that first layer, and I'll do that all the way down. Now, what that does is it kind of allows moisture from, and I'm just eyeballing this, you know, I'm going like maybe every quarter inch or so. I don't know. But it allows the moisture from like a wet glue to get down in there, to get down in that, that slash, you know, and makes the chipboard a little bit more flexible. It's like softens it, you know. Yeah, the way that I did those before, you basically, I don't know, you kind of like really soak the chipboard and then tie it around a dowel and then let it dry, and it just came out really, really, really stiff, and I didn't like it. So yeah, I trashed those. But I think this is going to be better, hopefully. Anyway, so just, yeah, so see, it's just kind of cut these little, like, slashes, you know. So that's one. I saved two to sort of... And, you know, if you feel like it's not flexible enough, you can always come back in and add more slashes, you know. I glued these together. I glued these pieces of chipboard together with the Scotch Create glue because I love glue sticks, but it's just a really good glue, and I don't know. I like glue sticks lately because they're just, I don't know, they just seem neater, less messy, and that's a really, really good glue, real stable. Okay, just like maybe two more. Okay, so that one, see, like that one I cut a little bit too deep, but that's okay. Like it doesn't really make that much difference. So then I have these two covers that I'm working on, and I wanted to make these a little bit wider journals, so that's part of the reason that I'm actually like rebuilding the spine on them, because I wanted them to be a little bit thicker, but also because they were really brittle, and you know, as I was gutting the books, the spine part was just falling off, you know. So anyway, okay, so I've got the two pieces, got them in the right sort of orientation, and then I just have these strips of, it's just like a drawing paper. It's kind of like a, it's an old, you know, somewhat heavy drawing paper. I think you could use, I think craft paper would probably work. It might be a little bit heavy depending on the craft paper, but you know, any kind of like sturdy like drawing paper or something like that would work for this. So I'm just using these lines like that section, okay, and lining my paper up on the inside with those little guides, you know. So I put the paper on, and this is not like everything that's going to be holding this together. This is just kind of like the beginning. And I noticed that Karla uses, she used masking tape kind of in the same type of way as how I'm using the paper, you know. So, you know, use masking tape if that's what you want to do. I just kind of like the idea of using glue because I feel like it might be a little bit more permanent, but she also glues the fabric on too. So see how this one kind of came up a little bit? That's okay. I can just glue it down. Just glue it back down. I'm going to be gluing this anyways when I put the fabric on it, so, you know, it doesn't really make that much difference. It's going to get glued down in there anyways. So you want your slashes to be on the outside of the book, okay? I got a glob of glue right there. So I'm leaving, I would say maybe 1/8 of an inch, little gap between the spine and the cover on each side. And I just eyeball it. Yeah, stabbed myself with the X-Acto today. That was fun. Okay. I just use a baby wipe to sort of smush things down. That's just, I don't know, it's my thing. So, you know, this doesn't have to be perfectly adhered yet, right? So let me do this other one because we're still going to be putting fabric on the inside. Actually, I was thinking about lining the inside of these with paper and then just doing the outside with fabric. So we'll see. We'll see. I might use fabric because it's a little bit more flexible, but who knows? All right. Oops. There's my glop of glue. Oops. Getting excited for the fundraiser auction on Wednesday. I hope you guys are ready. It's going to be a good time. We're going to make lots of money for Scotty. And lots of goodies. People just keep sending emails with stuff that they're donating from all over the world. It's really cool. It's really, really, really cool. I'm super excited about it. So that auction is starting at 1 p.m. Pacific time, in case anybody's wondering. And it's posted in my Facebook group, Junk Journal Connections. I'll put a link in the description. And then I've heard that there's some other people that are also sharing it on their channels and their live streams and their groups and stuff like that. So hopefully you'll be able to find it on Wednesday. It'll be this Wednesday, the 27th. So it's a good opportunity to pick up some craft supplies or some handmade journals or things like that from some people that don't normally sell stuff. So I think that's really cool. It's like a good opportunity for a lot of people to do some de-stashing too. So, okay, so those are done. It's up to that point, right? So I'm gonna let those dry. Those two that I just did. Whoops. Sorry about that. Okay, so this is one that I had done earlier, and I think I'm gonna add some additional paper on the spine here, and then And then I'm going to do some fabric on the outside. And I think when I do the fabric, I'm going to actually like push it down into these like slots, you know. So let's see. I think I'm going to just use this paper again. This is the same paper. So I have some other covers that that I'd like to do the same treatment on the spine, so maybe we could do those too. I can't remember what the width is. 7.5. Okay. So this is 7.5. And I might as well cut enough for all of them. So let's see. How wide do I want this to be? Probably going to wind up covering that. Well, I'm doing the inside first, so let's see. So we'll say we'll go 4.5. 4.5 inches. So I'm cutting a double thickness here, so and since I'm doing them all the same, I might as well cut a couple more. Okay, so I'm going to use this Scotch Create glue again. It's just, I don't know, it's just a really, really sturdy, permanent glue, you know. I have not had any trouble with it whatsoever. And it's nice because it doesn't buckle the paper. And it dries relatively quickly. It's real thick, like you can feel, you know, that it's a heavy-duty permanent glue. It's really sticky. Very sticky, like it leaves these, kind of has these flyaway type of strings too. So I'm just going to cover the whole inside of the spine with this. So I might wind up doing yet another layer of paper on the inside of these too. I don't know, like, I mean like right here, but you know, I don't know. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So then as far as this side, I'm going to use a wet glue. I'm going to use the tacky glue. And wondering, I'm trying to decide if I want to cover that up or not. Yeah, because I would have to go like, I think I'm going to wind up just covering it. But I'm going to use fabric on there. So one second. Let me find some fabric. Just happen to have some. You know what? I think I'm going to do a layer of paper first. Yeah, I think I'm going to do a layer of paper first. Because I just feel like I don't want so much glue like leaking through that that fabric, you know. So I'm just gonna put some wet glue on here, kind of rub it in like with my finger, you know. And then I'm going to actually get some a little bit down in that space. And sorry if I'm a little sniffly still, you guys. I'm still kind of recovering from the plague that I had. So I'm just rubbing that in. Not extremely worried about trying to get it down in the slashes at the moment. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, and I know that I didn't really get the glue wide enough, but that's okay. So I'm just going to kind of slowly work this down, work the paper down into that space. There we go. Just using my thumbnail. You could use like a, I mean, I could use the bone folder. I just don't really want to tear it, you know, like if you're going to use the bone folder, just go kind of slow, like be real gentle with it, you know, until you get it like all the way down in there. Let's see, I just ripped it. Okay, and then I'm just gonna kind of lay that down. Yeah, that's good. Okay, and then I'm actually gonna just take this kind of like right on the edge of my desk. I know you guys can't even see that though. I'm taking it on the edge of my desk and just kind of, maybe I could do it like on a book or something. Here, this will work. Here we go. So I'm just kind of pushing this down and kind of working a little bit of a curve into that spine, and the glue is gonna hold that shape, you know. It's still gonna have a little bit of flex though. It's not gonna be like as stiff, you know, as like those other ones that I did. So this I can glue down later, but you know, because the glue is kind of getting into the cracks and this, I wish I wouldn't have cut that right there, but it's okay. It's not like a huge deal. This is gonna get covered anyways, but the glue is like getting down into the slashes that I made in the chipboard, so and I think that looks really nice too, you know. So anyway, you know, you just kind of want to work it like Karla was showing on her video where she did this. You know, the only difference is that this kind of has like the slashes in it. I really loved how she, how simple that was though. So thank you for that, Karla. just kind of took that and sort of put it together with this other idea. And anyways, so this is not my idea, you guys. I'm not in any way, shape, or form claiming that to be my idea. I just thought that that would work really well with this kind of wider spine too, you know. Anyways, so I mean, I just wanted a slight curve because I'm going to be stitching my signatures into the spine, I think. I'm pretty sure I'm going to. So, anyways. There's one. Let's see if I can do another one. And then I have some other book covers that I'm going to try to do something really similar with. But the spines are still intact. So I might work on those here in just a second. I like to get a bunch of spines sort of prepped, you know, before I start trying to make journals. I don't know, like, I guess that's just kind of where I'm at right now. If I'm repurposing books, I like to do a bunch at once. Yeah, and some people might, you know, might want to have, you know, your fabric kind of wrap all the way around and stuff too. I noticed that that's what Karla was doing on hers. She wraps the fabric all the way around the whole spine. And it looks really nice. So I can't tell what's up on this. Oh yeah, okay, there's a little bird, so that must be up. Okay. So I'm gonna do the wet glue again. And you probably could water down this glue a little bit if you want to sort of, I don't know, if you want it to soak into the chipboard even more. I think it's good the way it is, but you know, if your tacky glue is getting kind of dried out, then that might not be a horrible idea. This is a relatively new bottle, so just trying to get a little bit down in that little gap. All right. Yeah, I'm not going to use the bone folder this time. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe I will. But you just got to be kind of patient with it and sort of let the glue soak into the paper and soften it, you know? Using the baby wipe on there kind of adds a little bit of moisture to the paper too. And I think that'll help soften it. Okay, I'm going to gently, ever so gently, okay, and then I'm just going to kind of form this a little bit on the edge of my desk. This takes a little patience, you know. There, not too bad. Not too shabby. Yeah, and then, like I said, I'll, you know, I'll glue that down later, but yeah, so there's a couple. Where's that other one? Where did I put it? Oh, there it is. Okay, and then I have this, this is a dictionary that I have that, well, it's the cover from a dictionary, and I really want to do the same thing on this. I was able to keep the fabric intact, but I really need to, you know, strengthen that, right? So I think just to start out, I'm just going to add a little bit of tacky glue under that little flap right there. And the Aleene's tacky is kind of flexible when it's dry too, so that's nice. It's very flexible, actually. If you wanted to, you could use like a fabric glue, I suppose. That would be even more flexible for this type of thing. I have some fabric glue, I don't know. And I suppose I could use Fabri-Tac, but I'm not. All right. So, let's see. Trying to think. I just want to add a layer of strength to that section, you know. And then I do want to do the curved spine on it too. So let's see. Where's my ruler? There it is. Okay. So this is, we're going to call it 3 inches. 3 by, let's go 7.5. So 7.5. By 3. Sorry about my band-aid, you guys. I know it's super gross. Okay. I'm going to cut a couple more of these. This is just a really thin chipboard. I don't even remember where it came from, but I never throw chipboard away. Might have come out of like some, I don't know. I have no idea. 7.5 by 3. I'm just cutting a couple more pieces because I think this is what I'm going to wind up using for the actual spine too, like for the curved part. So to start to kind of get that ready, I'm going to glue some of these together. Excuse me. I love this glue. I don't like it for collaging as much as I like the Elmer's all-purpose. But I do like the Scotch Create for more like utilitarian type of things like this. I mean, it's awesome for gluing fabric too. And these big sticks, these last for a long time. There's a lot of glue in this. These are actually, this stick is like 2 of these. So, believe it or not, as far as the weight, you know. Okay. Okay, got those glued together. Let that dry for a little while, and I'm gonna kind of let it, and then I'll come back and like slash it, you know. But I think I'm gonna just glue this in using that to just kind of reinforce that a little bit. I'm just so scared that it's gonna rip or something, you know. And it's snowing here, by the way. Good old Spokane. We're having this really weird, like, light, real fine, misty kind of snow. It's weird. Yeah. So that's going to be good. Look how wide that spine is. This is going to be a fat journal. This is the second one of these that I've had. I actually did one of these before and made it into like a custom journal for this lady. I have some other books that I'm going to try to prep covers on too. See, like this one, I mean, that's so thin that, basically all you have to do is just kind of form it, right? But it's not going to stay that shape because it's so thin. So I think I am going to wind up using this. I'm not looking for like a real dramatic curved spine, This is just like ever so slightly curved. And I just think it gives the book a nice kind of feel in your hand, It makes it feel more like organic or something in your hand. Anyways, so I set that up there and kind of I want to let this dry a little bit before I start trying to like slash it, but I've got these that I kind of want to do the same thing, and I've already taken the book block out. So I'm just gonna glue that part down. sort of just like trim off some of this stuff that's not necessary, you know. This one was still, that side was still stuck down, so I didn't worry about it. What's that? Hold on. These are those Collier's encyclopedias. I still had 5 of these left, so I decided I'm going to make them into journals. Okay, so I'm going to just glue a piece of paper in here. I have some chipboard that I think I'm going to slash to add like a curved spine in here. But I want to have something to glue this to in here first. So let's see. This I think I was the one that yeah. Okay, so I'm going to go off of this and cut just some paper. And since I have 5 of these, I might as well do them all the same, right? That's too short. Oops. Okay, how long is this? So 9 inches by 1.5 inches. Okay. 9. I just feel like, I don't know, like that's just going to make me feel better about it. For some reason. I don't know. You guys get some of this glue. If you haven't tried it, like, it'll blow your mind. It's awesome. Okay. So that just gives me a little bit of a, I don't know, kind of a clean surface, I think, to add this to. This is really pulpy chipboard. So I don't know. I'm going to just slash it and see how it does. I'm afraid that it might, I don't know. It might be too soft. I don't know. kind of soft, but that's okay. I don't know. We'll see. So I'm just eyeballing this, you know. Like I said, I'm not measuring it necessarily. One more. Oops. Cut a little bit too far on that one. That's okay. I think it's still going to work just fine. Just trying to get a shape in there, you know. Alright, messy, messy. Okay, and then I'm just gonna kind of bend this on the edge of my desk. The edge of my desk is like rounded, so that's why it works. But you could use like a dowel or, you know, even like a thinner book. Like you could use a skinnier book and just kind of, you know, wrap it around it or whatever. Sort of press it down. Like I can feel the chipboard softening, you know. So it's just going to kind of help stabilize the spine. In that basic shape, you know. So, yeah. Cool. And then I can come back in and after this dries, then I will add like a fabric liner in there, you know. But I want it to dry first. So, okay, so let's see if I'm going to cut some slashes in this. This is for the dictionary. So I thought I would just do like some craft with me type of videos and, you know, just kind of let bring you guys along on my journey to figuring out what I'm doing and you know, solving problems and things like that. I do a lot of changing my mind as I go, you know, or yeah, maybe not. I guess it's not necessarily like changing my mind, but you know, there's always an evolution of what we're doing, you know, what I'm doing. So, okay, so see, that worked good, you know, and that's kind of soft. So, all right, so I can glue this in here. Oh, this is going to be awesome. I wonder if that's a little bit too wide though. No, I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to work just fine. All right. Like I said before, thank you, Karla, for the inspiration. I know you had shown me this kind of thing before, and I guess I sort of forgot about it, you know? But I'll put a link to Karla's channel in the description, because she's done some other, like, tutorial type of videos lately, and they're kind of cool. Like, she did these rolled flowers that I think I might have to get in on those. They're pretty cool. Good way to use up some fabric scraps, I'm thinking. Okay. Yeah, this is going to be awesome. Okay, let me just kind of shape this on my desk a little bit. Sorry, I know you guys can't see this at all, but isn't that a pretty cover? I just love it. So, yeah. Yay. Okay. So I'm going to let that one dry. That one dry. Got some other ones over here. So these are on their way to being dry. Just kind of play with them a little bit, you know. And then I've got all these to do. So anyways, I'm gonna work on these and you know, these try to get these done, get some covers made, because that's really you know, where it all starts, you know. I have a bunch of these just like old cookbooks, you know, from like the 40s and 50s, and I just want to make just some junky junk journals with these, you know. So that's kind of what, look at this one was on the stove. The American Woman's Cookbook. you know? So I don't know, like I just want to fill these up with things that I like, you know what I mean? Like just pretty pictures of flowers and birds and little kids and you know, collages and lace and all that kind of stuff, and just make these kind of feminine, sort of vintagey junk journals, you know. So I think that'll be fun. This one I love. I love just that contrasty navy blue, or this is not navy blue, but dark blue and white. And then this one with the plaid. And then I was thinking I'd do this one too, Chronicles of the Garden. This one has really nice paper in it. So yeah, so I'm probably going to do the curved spine on all of those. I'll finish doing it on all of these Reader's Digests, all of the Collier's books. I think I'm going to do some kind of treatment on the outside of these, maybe like with Inca Gold or something, you know, and just kind of bring out that that texture and stuff that's on these. And then I'm thinking I'll do some kind of plate over the front, maybe with like some kind of vintage photograph or something. So yeah, so that's where I'm at with these. I love junk journals. Look at this one with the seahorses. Isn't that cool? Yeah, I've been saving all the like pretty ones, you know. I love using Reader's Digests for junk journals. They're just such a cool size, you know. They're just like a perfect size. So, see, like that's coming loose a little bit right there, but it's not a big deal. It's going to get glued back down. So, anyways. All right, you guys. I'm going to sign off, quit rambling, get to work, and then, who knows, maybe I'll make another video later. You never know. You never know. All right, you guys. I love you. Bye. Bye for now, I mean. Bye.